So today's an exciting day. We're heading off to Sydney for the day, for a day trip, because I'm doing a presentation in the afternoon to a business conference that's going on for NDIS businesses. And this is for Vanessa Norman's group. I love every time I get to just talk to a group of business owners about explaining to them why and how they should actually be using their numbers, because it's such a game changer once you are. Makes business life so much easier. But in particular, when I get to talk to a group like this, it's kind of extra special for me because, one, these business owners do such a good thing, as in it's such a good contribution to the world and the community. And having worked with some of them before, the NDIS business can be pretty challenging for them. They have fixed pricing. There's certain things they can and can't do. The way they actually get paid is a pretty long tail. And it's actually a pretty challenging business to get right from a numbers perspective. So couple the fact that numbers are already not everybody's favorite part of their business, then make it extra challenging. And then the people who are doing the work, they're doing nursing or caring or different therapies and stuff, oftentimes for kids, and to then have to make it extra hard for them in terms of the way their business runs. That's a bit of a frustrating situation, which I love the fact that I can at least help them make their life a little bit easier as business owners, and therefore they're a little bit more freed up to focus on what it is that they actually do and contribute to the community rather than drowning in struggling business issues. The thing for me is changing people's minds about numbers. There's for sure a general attitude out there amongst business owners that numbers, finance, accounting is the boring part of business. The not necessarily useful part, like the necessary evil, essentially, that they just have to do to keep the tax man happy or keep the accountant happy. Whereas what I want to show people today is numbers are actually the thing that make business so much easier. Once you can simply see what's going on in your numbers, and that's probably the biggest hurdle for people, is it's just given to them in a way that's super hard, full of jargon. Whereas if we can actually simplify the numbers down to something really easy and basic, any business owner can understand it. If they can handle plus and minus, they've got the math of it covered. Take away all the jargon, make it simple words. All of a sudden, it's so much easier for regular business owners to understand. And numbers are the language of business. So once you can actually read this language, it makes life as a business owner just so much easier, because you can automatically see what's going on. You can spot risks early. You can spot opportunities early. You make the right decisions, and thereafter, it basically supports you in everything you're doing in business. Everything from every little decision to big decisions, all of that kind of indecision and uncertainty is just completely taken away. And the state of mind that puts you in as a business owner is just so much easier to run your business. It doesn't make business everything else go away and easy, but it's definitely the foundation. Having that clarity just gives you so much more confidence as a business owner. Yeah, so just checking the time, we need to run because we've got an airplane to catch. Politics crinkle-proof t-shirt for the win. It's probably the greatest innovation they've made in clothing, I think. We'd love to blame Jetstar because it's easy, but turns out at Sydney Airport, one runway working. So Kristen and I are having fun for a few hours, hanging out at the Sunny Coast Airport, where you hardly notice the time because the facilities here are so set up for hanging out for hours. Us and 300 other people crammed into 2 rows of couch chairs. It's going great. Here we are, we've made it to Sydney. We're in the Masonic Centre, which is where this presentation's going down. I've had a little sticky beak in there. Vanessa's on stage right now talking to her crew. Looks like a really cool set. She's got a real branding vibe going on in there, which is quite nice. And we're just hanging in the cafe, doing a bit of lunch, doing a bit of last minute prep to the slides, and about to start the hype up routine to get on stage. I'm much happier. I've had a chicken avocado wrap, followed by a FNG bar, which I don't know what that stands for. Fig and goodness bar, maybe. And a little pick-me-up with a little espresso thrown in there as well. I think you need context for the rating, because I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10, but I think part of that score comes from the fact I hadn't eaten anything. So if it was just a regular day, it was maybe a 5 out of 10. But in this moment, it was a 9 out of 10. Growing up, like never. Like came here once, I think, as a kid when I was like 4. Then once maybe as an adult somewhere before I lived overseas, and I had the like 10 years living abroad part of my life, which was like 25 to 35. Since coming back to Australia though, I reckon I've been to Sydney 6 times a year for the last 6 years or something like that. So just always here for business conferences pretty much every time. I've come here to present quite a few times. It's been the rare occasion we've come down for a wedding or something like that, a bit fun. But yeah, the old Sydney trip's a bit of a, bit of a standard on the calendar these days. From a pretty young age, I always wanted to be my own business owner. And it was kind of part of the reason I went down the finance accountant route, was because I could see early doors that was an important piece of the puzzle. I definitely had a couple of like life lessons really early that the numbers are really important. The businesses I worked for 2 businesses back to back in university that both went bust in a row. And one was a family friend who was a travel agency, and I watched her lose all her life savings. She put it into this business, and I was working in there. That's when I took 6 months off uni to do that job. It went bust. That was really horrible to, see somebody lose their life savings in a business. And then I went straight and worked in a cafe that was owned by a retired police officer couple, and that had a really stressful life in the police force. Thought they'd live this hospitality dream of owning a cafe, and that also went bust. And that one was like really hard to see people at that age of life losing their life savings again that they'd put into a business, and not only walking away with nothing but walking away with debts and bankruptcy and stuff. It's horrible. And it showed me like the pain for a business owner and their family, but then also the ripple effect of their suppliers didn't get paid, their staff didn't get paid, like the whole knock-on effect down the road of that happening. And business, like in particular, like the difference between profit and cash flow is really confusing for most business owners. It's a relatively simple point if you're taught it, but no one's taught it, and therefore people don't learn about it until it's too late, and it ends in a big mess, and it's really hard to unwind, and all the mistakes have been made. And so the why I do what I do moment is I always think about the ripple effect. Like if I get to help a business owner, yes, helps them, that's great, but it's about their family, their employees, their customers, their suppliers. And by helping like one business at a time, you actually have a huge impact for the people around them. And so that's what has been the driver of this, is like that. And that's the thing that keeps me trying different ways to break through with communicating with people and educating people that this stuff is so vitally important in business. Like it honestly should be mandatory before anyone starts a business, because so many businesses fail. And when we look at why they fail because of basic numbers decisions. So every time, like 80% of all failures because of profit or cash flow reasons. I've found I don't want to just give people the answers. Like I really want to teach people and empower them to do it themselves. So that's what kind of sets me apart from being a consultant, makes me the coach instead, because if I'm the consultant, I could just give you the answers and charge you for it and off you go. Whereas I'm wanting to educate you and empower you and teach you how to do it for yourself. And I'll make that as easy as possible, because there's a lot of stuff in finance which is boring and you don't need to be doing as the business owner. So I like to do as much of that as possible, except for that key moment where you're learning it for yourself. It's one of those skills for life. Like it's like riding a bike. Like once you've seen this stuff and learned how to do it, none of it's hard. It's only hard because nobody's teaching it, and it's filled with accounting jargon that doesn't need to be there. We take that away, show people how simple it is, teach them how to read it, make decisions for themselves. And thereafter, it doesn't matter if it's for this business or your next business or wherever you're going in life, it's like riding a bike. It's a skill for life. So that's what I love doing now. You ready? Yeah, I'm all about the content. It's my specialty. Let's do it. So turns out I wasn't quite as prepared as I thought I was. Did the little tech check in there during the break and realized that my slides are in 4:3 ratio for an iPad, but in there it's on a 16:9 ratio, so everything looked super wonky. So instead of spending my last 20-30 minutes before presenting just chilling out here, I am working super fast to quickly rechange all the pictures and slides and everything. And yeah, it's a little bit stressful, if I'm honest. Wait, I wasn't stressed at all. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, it's all good, all done, ready to go. Slides fit perfectly on my iPad, but I'm on stage in 5 minutes, so let's go do it.
So please stand and welcome to the stage, Gavin Smith.
I just want to start by saying a big thank you to having me here today, because the thing that I love doing the most is obviously talking about this to business owners, but in particular when it's a room like this, because what fuels me is knowing that when I help somebody be successful, it helps them serve their clients, serve their community. And with the room that you have here, it's like even more important. And that's why getting to do speaking like this, it's really fulfilling for me, because I know that helping you guys be more successful is going to help so many people's lives out there. So I'm well aware that finance is typically not everybody's most exciting part of their business. You know, you got into business because you loved what you're doing, you're really good at it, you've got a skill, you've got a passion for it. You might have found a good commercial opportunity you wanted to step into, but once you become a business owner, finance all of a sudden lands on your shoulders, right? It becomes your thing to deal with. Say you're talking to your accountant and he says, well done, you've made profit, good job. And you're like, awesome. And then you're looking at your bank account and you're like, where the hell is it? What's he talking about, right? The other one is you're running a business, and so you've got employees and they're looking at you and they're like, oh, you've got it figured out. I've seen how much you're getting paid, you're winning, you know exactly what's going on. And to them, you're having to pretend that you know what's going on and be calm and in control. But realistically, under the surface, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Should I be running the show? What are these decisions? Do I hire somebody? Do I spend on marketing? Do I do that coaching program? Whatever it is, you know, there's a lot of stress on you to make those decisions. I'm going to show you, hopefully, some things which are going to make the finance side of your business a lot simpler and a lot easier to understand, okay? Very literal title, use your numbers. Honestly, it makes life as a business owner so much easier when you learn how to use your numbers. The finance and the numbers is for the accountants and the bookkeepers, it's not for them. But what you need to realize, and what I'm trying to show with this picture here, is you're the one playing the game in your business, not your accountant, not your bookkeeper. And it's really easy then to see, what do I need to change? And so we're more confident to make that decision. And when we make that decision, and then we go backwards and we find ourselves here, instead of having the moment down here where we're like, oh shit, what have I done? That was a stupid decision. Look, the results have gone backwards. When we're reading the numbers confidently, we got a good plan, we know we're in the valley on purpose before we go to the next peak. The key takeaways is 3 sets of numbers: profitability, financial position, and timing of cash flow in and out. If I'm talking to a business owner who's never looking at their financial statements and they're just watching the bank account to explain what's going on in their business, I'm checking in, I'm like saying, hey, how's your business going? Business is great, I'm really good at business. How's your business? It sucks. I hate business. Oh no, I'm actually really good at business. I never should have been in business. And it's literally from 1 week to the next that you're on this cycle, because that's how much the bank account fluctuates. But if we have this business and nothing changes over 5 years, the profit that you take out of this business is 500,000. 5 times 100 over 5 years, it's 500K. If we put some tiny assumptions here, we grow this business by 5% every year. So the next year it's 1,050,000, then 1.1 million and so on. And we're able to add 1% of profit margin growth every year as well. So it goes from 10 to 11 to 12, 13, 14, 15 over a 5-year journey. The profitability over a 5-year journey is $760,000. The tiniest of magnitude of differences, and it's more than 50% bigger than the profit it was before that. But all 3 sets of numbers simplified down and just running a bit of a rhythm on those numbers on repeat to make good decisions, and you'll go through this journey. You'll put yourself on the green line.
See you, son.
Yeah, well, that was a terrific presentation. Yeah, you obviously
you.
practiced at it.
I've done it a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right, Teresa could see me like, yes.
Yes. Yeah. You're on the highs and the lows of the roller coaster. Yeah.
What you said really spoke to us. Like, we're in a place in the business where we've been doing it for like 5-6 years, and we're like, okay, well, like our anxiety is keeping us like in the positive, but I'm like, I feel like we're ready to like move away from that. and
Yeah.
figure out what the numbers are.
Yeah. Next minute, you got a 7-figure business. You're like, what the hell's going on? I'm in charge. I would say that was an excellent talk. Great crowd. I could see their faces were really much living on everything, you know, the highs and the lows of what I was saying. They were really taking it in. I love talking to a room like this where I can see I'm answering those questions of something they've really struggled with for a long time. Like those couple of ladies I was just talking to at the end, I could see them in the audience experiencing the highs, experiencing the lows. When I was saying the things, you know, do you bury your head in the sands with the numbers? You could see it on their face and stuff, but then showing them how simple and easy it can be, I could just see they're like, oh my God, finance is actually interesting. Oh my God, it could actually help me. And so that's why they were rushing over to chat afterwards, which was awesome because it means what I said actually made an impact to these people. All right, so there we have it. Thanks for coming to Sydney with us for the day, and I'll see you on the next one.